In this video, we'll dive into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and explore how this philosophy can teach us not only to make the most of every moment, but to live a life of meaning, discipline, and tranquility. From understanding the value of time to practical Stoic techniques for prioritizing what truly matters, this video will guide you in mastering the art of time management. So, if you're ready to stop letting time slip away and start spending it wisely, stay tuned. Number 1. Say no to non-essential things. In a world constantly demanding our attention and energy, learning to say no to non-essential things has become one of the most important skills we can cultivate. Every day we face countless distractions, requests, and opportunities that, while seemingly important at the time, may not align with our true values or long-term goals. Saying no is not a sign of selfishness or irresponsibility, but rather an act of self-awareness and prioritization. By learning to recognize and decline what doesn't serve us, we free up space for what truly matters. This practice of discernment is essential in a society where the pressure to please others, meet societal expectations, and stay busy can easily overwhelm us. It is often said that time is the most valuable resource, and how we choose to spend it directly shapes our lives. Yet, many of us are prone to filling our schedules with non-essential tasks, commitments, and obligations, leading to burnout, stress, and dissatisfaction. The first step in mastering the art of saying no is understanding what truly matters to us. This requires self-reflection and the ability to identify our core values, passions, and long-term aspirations. When we are clear about what we want to achieve, it becomes easier to assess whether a particular request or activity aligns with those goals. For example, if one of your core values is personal growth, taking on projects that don't contribute to this goal may only drain your energy without offering any meaningful reward. Instead, by saying no to these distractions, you can reserve your time for things that nurture your growth and happiness. Often, we say yes because we fear letting others down, missing out, or appearing uncooperative. However, these fears are rooted in external validation rather than internal alignment. In truth, saying no is a form of self-respect. It is a way of setting boundaries, asserting our needs, and making conscious decisions about where to invest our time and energy. Moreover, saying no to non-essential things is a powerful tool for mental clarity and focus. When we continuously say yes to every opportunity, we spread ourselves thin and become less effective at any one thing. This is particularly true in the age of information overload, where we are bombarded with countless tasks, notifications, and demands on our attention. By practicing selective engagement, we can reduce the noise and direct our focus toward what truly matters. In turn, this leads to greater productivity, satisfaction, and a deeper sense of purpose. It's also important to recognize that saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. It can be done politely and with respect, especially when it comes to declining requests from others. For example, instead of agreeing to attend an event that doesn't align with your priorities, you might say, "I appreciate the invitation, but I need to focus on other commitments at the moment." By offering a polite, clear response, you maintain your integrity while respecting others' feelings. This helps build healthier relationships, where your boundaries are respected and your time is honored. Additionally, saying no can create more room for creativity, leisure, and rest. In our fast-paced world, many of us are so caught up in the cycle of doing that we forget the value of simply being. Rest is not a luxury, it is a necessity for maintaining physical, mental, and emotional well-being. When we make space in our lives by saying no to unnecessary tasks, we create opportunities for rest, reflection, and creative expression. These moments of stillness are often when our best ideas arise, as we allow ourselves to reconnect with our inner selves. It's easy to get caught up in the mindset of productivity, believing that we must constantly do something to be valuable. However, true productivity is not measured by how much we do, but by how effectively we focus our energy on what matters most. The more we say no to distractions, the more we are able to say yes to our own peace, joy, and fulfillment. Another key aspect of saying no to non-essential things is the positive impact it has on our relationships. By setting boundaries and prioritizing our time, we teach others how to respect our limits and make more meaningful connections. When we constantly overextend ourselves, we risk burnout, which can strain our personal and professional relationships. However, by practicing self-care and making intentional choices about how we spend our time, we show up more fully for the people we care about. We become more present, more engaged, and more able to contribute to relationships in a way that is sustainable and fulfilling. This act of saying no is not just about rejecting outside demands, but also about reclaiming ownership of our lives. We become more intentional with our time, more conscious of where we invest our energy, and more committed to living a life that aligns with our values. In conclusion, the practice of saying no to non-essential things is a crucial step toward living a more intentional, fulfilling life. It allows us to reclaim our time, protect our mental health, and focus on what truly matters. While it may feel uncomfortable at first, especially in a culture that glorifies busyness and productivity, the benefits of setting boundaries far outweigh the initial discomfort. Saying no is an empowering act of self-care, and by doing so, we open up space for greater clarity, purpose, and joy. It is a simple yet powerful way to take control of our lives, preserve our energy, and live in alignment with our deepest values. Number 2, prioritize what truly matters. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily demands. Whether it's meeting deadlines, juggling personal responsibilities, or staying on top of social obligations. With so much vying for our attention, it's often difficult to discern what truly matters and what doesn't. However, taking the time to prioritize the things that bring us purpose, fulfillment, and growth can transform our lives. Prioritizing what truly matters is about being intentional with our time, energy, and resources, focusing on what aligns with our deepest values and long-term goals. One of the first steps in this process is to define what truly matters means to us as individuals. This often involves a deep self-reflection about what we want out of life. For some, it might be family, personal health, or career growth. For others, it could be creative expression, spiritual well-being, or building meaningful relationships. When we identify our core values, it becomes much easier to discern which commitments align with those values and which ones detract from them. For example, if family is a top priority, then investing time in creating strong, supportive connections with loved ones will take precedence over other less meaningful activities, even if they seem urgent at the moment. Likewise, if health is paramount, making time for exercise, rest, and mindful eating should be prioritized over late-night work sessions or distractions. The next step in prioritizing what truly matters is learning to say no to things that don't align with our values or that drain our energy. This might be one of the most challenging aspects of the process. We often say yes out of obligation, fear of missing out, or the desire to please others. However, constantly overcommitting can lead to burnout and resentment. By saying no to things that don't serve our higher purpose, we create space for the activities, relationships, and experiences that truly add value to our lives. Saying no doesn't have to be a rejection of others. It's simply a declaration that our time and energy are precious, and we choose to invest them in areas that bring us the most fulfillment. In addition to setting boundaries, prioritizing what truly matters involves managing our time effectively. Time is one of the most finite resources we have, and once it's gone, we can never get it back. By recognizing the value of time, we become more mindful of how we use it. A powerful technique is to break down our day into intentional blocks of time, allocating specific periods for work, rest, social interaction, and self-care. Having a structured routine not only increases productivity, but also ensures that we're not neglecting the important aspects of our lives. For instance, scheduling family dinners or weekly exercise sessions can help us commit to these priorities despite the pull of other demands. Prioritization also requires the ability to assess the long-term consequences of our actions. Often we make decisions based on short-term convenience or instant gratification, But these choices may not align with our broader life goals. For example, spending too much time on social media or binge-watching television might feel like an easy escape in the moment. But these activities often leave us feeling drained or unfulfilled in the long run. On the other hand, investing time in personal development, whether through learning a new skill, improving our physical health, or nurturing meaningful connections, often yields long-term rewards that align with our deeper aspirations. Another key aspect of prioritizing what truly matters is learning to embrace discomfort and delayed gratification. The things that are most valuable in life, such as cultivating deep relationships, achieving career success, or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, often require hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance. In the short term, these pursuits may be challenging or require us to step outside of our comfort zones. However, the long-term satisfaction and growth that come from investing in what truly matters are incomparable. It's crucial to recognize that growth often happens in discomfort, and by pushing through the temporary challenges, we can achieve a sense of fulfillment that instant pleasures cannot provide. Equally important is the practice of gratitude. When we take time each day to appreciate the things we've prioritized, whether it's family, health, work, or personal passions, we reinforce the value of these pursuits in our minds. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a deeper sense of contentment and helping us stay grounded in the things that matter most. Even when life presents challenges, practicing gratitude can remind us of the progress we've made and the blessings we already possess. Finally, prioritizing what truly matters is not a one-time decision, but an ongoing practice. Life is dynamic, and our priorities may shift over time as we grow, evolve, and experience new challenges. What is most important to us today may look different a year or a decade from now. Thus, it's essential to regularly reevaluate our priorities and adjust our actions accordingly. This might involve revisiting our values, reassessing our goals, and letting go of commitments or habits that no longer serve us. By embracing this flexibility and maintaining a commitment to what truly matters, we can live lives that are not only productive but also rich in meaning and purpose. In conclusion, prioritizing what truly matters is an intentional and conscious effort that requires clarity, boundaries, time management, and long-term perspective. It's about creating a life where our actions align with our deepest values and aspirations, leading to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven existence. As we become more deliberate in how we allocate our time and energy, we can focus on the things that bring us joy, growth, and satisfaction, while letting go of the distractions and demands that don't serve our greater purpose. Through this practice, we ultimately discover that the most valuable thing we can invest in is not external achievements, but the cultivation of a life that resonates with our authentic selves. Number 3. Prioritize what truly matters. In our fast-paced and often chaotic world, it is easy to become overwhelmed by the noise and distractions that surround us. The constant stream of information, societal pressures, and personal obligations can cloud our judgment and steer us away from what truly matters. To prioritize what is truly important, we must first recognize the value of clarity and self-awareness. The concept of prioritization isn't just about getting tasks done. It is about focusing on those actions and relationships that bring the most meaning and fulfillment to our lives. It is about making deliberate choices that support our well-being, growth, and purpose. The first step in prioritizing what truly matters is defining our values. Our values act as a compass, guiding us through life's complexities and helping us distinguish between what is essential and what is merely urgent. When we are clear about what we stand for, what we believe in, and what brings us joy, we can navigate through distractions with a greater sense of purpose. For instance, if family is a core value, we might choose to spend more time with loved ones, even if it means saying no to a professional opportunity that would demand excessive time away. Similarly, if personal health is a priority, we might take time to exercise or rest, even when work pressures suggest otherwise. Identifying and committing to our values forms the foundation for making choices that align with what is truly important. Next, we must learn to evaluate the demands on our time and energy. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with requests, whether it's through emails, social media, or societal expectations. Many of these demands are not inherently negative, but if we say yes to everything, we can quickly lose sight of what we actually need or want to focus on. It's crucial to assess the significance of each task and determine whether it serves our long-term goals or aligns with our values. This process often requires us to practice discernment, understanding the difference between what is important and what is merely distracting or unimportant. It is also important to recognize that not all tasks can be handled alone. Delegation and asking for help are powerful tools in ensuring that we are not overwhelmed by the weight of responsibilities that do not align with our core values. A common obstacle to prioritization is the fear of missing out, or FOMO. We may feel compelled to attend every event, take on every opportunity, or satisfy every request out of a desire to not fall behind or disappoint others. However, this mindset often leads to burnout and dissatisfaction as we spread ourselves too thin. To counter this, we must recognize that it is okay to say no. Saying no is not a sign of weakness or failure. Rather, it is a sign of strength and self-respect. By saying no to things that do not align with our priorities, we are making room for the things that truly matter. This could mean saying no to extra work hours in favor of spending quality time with family, or declining social engagements in favor of focusing on personal goals or self-care. A critical component of prioritizing what truly matters is cultivating balance. While it is tempting to focus exclusively on one area of life, whether it's career, relationships, or personal development, true fulfillment comes from a balanced approach. Balance doesn't mean equal distribution of time and energy, but rather ensuring that each area of life gets the attention it needs to thrive. For example, a successful career may require long hours of dedication, but it should not come at the cost of personal health or meaningful relationships. Similarly, nurturing personal relationships is essential, but we must also reserve time for self-care and personal growth. Balancing different aspects of life requires conscious effort and periodic reflection to ensure that no area is neglected or over-prioritized at the expense of another. In addition to balance, it is also important to remember the role of progress, not perfection. We often feel pressured to achieve things perfectly, whether in our careers, personal lives, or health. However, perfectionism can be paralyzing and prevent us from making meaningful strides toward what matters most. Instead of fixating on flawless execution, we should aim for consistent progress. Small, steady steps toward our goals can often be more impactful than striving for unattainable perfection. This mindset frees us from the burden of unrealistic expectations and allows us to focus on what truly moves the needle in our lives. Finally, prioritizing what truly matters requires continuous reflection and adjustment. Life is dynamic, and our priorities may shift as we grow, learn, and encounter new experiences. What mattered to us a few years ago might not hold the same weight today, and that's okay. Regular reflection allows us to reassess our values and priorities, ensuring that we are always moving in the direction that aligns with our true purpose. This might involve reevaluating our goals, adjusting our daily routines, or letting go of commitments that no longer serve us. By embracing the fluidity of life and making adjustments as needed, we can stay focused on what truly matters and lead a more fulfilling life. In conclusion, prioritizing what truly matters is a practice that requires intentionality, self-awareness, and discipline. By identifying our values, evaluating our time and energy, learning to say no, cultivating balance, embracing progress, and regularly reflecting on our priorities, we can create a life that is aligned with our deepest desires and aspirations. While the distractions and demands of life will always be present, it is up to us to choose what to focus on and what to let go of. When we make conscious choices to prioritize what truly matters, we can live with greater clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. Number 3, focus entirely on one task at a time. In our fast-paced world, multitasking has become a cultural norm, with many individuals juggling multiple tasks at once in an attempt to maximize productivity. However, research has shown that multitasking can often lead to diminished quality of work, increased stress, and a higher likelihood of making mistakes. Instead of focusing on several tasks simultaneously, focusing on one task at a time offers a far more effective approach. This method, often referred to as single tasking, allows individuals to dedicate their full attention to a specific task, resulting in better concentration, higher quality output, and a more fulfilling sense of accomplishment. In a society that values efficiency, it may seem counterintuitive to slow down and focus on one thing at a time, but the benefits of this approach are profound and far-reaching. The cognitive science behind focusing on a single task at a time is rooted in the way our brains process information. When we attempt to multitask, our brain is essentially switching back and forth between tasks, rather than doing them simultaneously. This constant switching of focus can lead to mental fatigue, as the brain has to readjust and reorient itself with each new task. This effect, known as cognitive switching, can also lead to more errors as our mental resources are divided and spread thin. Focusing entirely on one task allows the brain to fully engage with the task at hand, improving efficiency, quality, and the ability to complete the task correctly the first time. One of the most significant advantages of single tasking is the improvement in the quality of work. When we divide our attention between multiple tasks, we inadvertently reduce the amount of cognitive resources each task receives. As a result, the output from each task suffers. For example, when writing an email while attending a meeting or responding to messages while working on a project, the quality of these activities diminishes because our attention is not fully devoted to them. When you focus entirely on one task, however, you can allocate your full cognitive capacity to it, enhancing the quality of your work. Whether you are drafting an important document, creating a detailed report, or engaging in deep creative thinking, dedicating your attention to just one thing at a time allows you to produce more thoughtful, accurate, and polished results. Moreover, single tasking can enhance efficiency. Although multitasking may appear to save time, it actually causes inefficiencies due to the constant switching of tasks. Each time we switch from one task to another, we need to reboot our brain and reestablish our focus, which consumes valuable time and energy. When we work on a single task, we minimize the time spent reorienting ourselves. Instead of spreading ourselves thin, we are able to fully immerse ourselves in the task at hand, often completing it faster and with more precision than if we had attempted to juggle multiple tasks. This approach leads to fewer mistakes, which ultimately saves time in the long run by reducing the need for rework or corrections. In addition to improving the quality and efficiency of work, focusing on one task at a time can also have significant mental and emotional benefits. Multitasking is often linked to higher levels of stress and anxiety. When people feel overwhelmed by trying to manage several tasks at once, they experience a sense of mental clutter that can cloud their judgment and decrease overall well-being. On the other hand, single tasking helps reduce feelings of overwhelm. By breaking tasks down into manageable chunks and dedicating time and attention to each one individually, you give yourself permission to be present in the moment. This focused, intentional approach leads to a greater sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. As you complete one task after another, you build momentum and create a positive feedback loop that fuels productivity and confidence. In today's world, distractions are rampant. Whether it's constant notifications from our phones, colleagues interrupting us, or our own thoughts pulling us in different directions, it can be difficult to maintain a state of deep focus. However, setting aside time to focus entirely on one task can create a sense of flow, a state in which we are fully absorbed in what we are doing. Flow is associated with peak performance, where individuals can work at their highest capacity and creativity. By eliminating distractions and dedicating uninterrupted time to a single task, you increase the chances of entering this state of flow, leading to both personal and professional growth. While focusing on one task at a time is highly beneficial, it requires discipline and intention. In order to implement this strategy, it may be necessary to set boundaries and create an environment that minimizes distractions. Turning off phone notifications, closing unnecessary browser tabs, and setting specific work hours for each task can all contribute to creating the space needed to focus deeply. Additionally, practicing mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing or meditation, can help strengthen your ability to stay focused on the task at hand. Over time, the ability to focus on one task will become a habit that enhances both your productivity and your sense of well-being. In conclusion, focusing entirely on one task at a time may seem like a slower approach in a world that values speed and multitasking. However, the benefits of single tasking, improved quality, increased efficiency, reduced stress, and enhanced mental clarity make it a far more effective strategy for achieving long-term success. By embracing the power of focus and dedicating yourself to one task at a time, you can unlock your full potential and accomplish your goals with greater ease and satisfaction. It's time to put the myth of multitasking to rest and adopt a more intentional, mindful approach to productivity. Number 4. Stay aligned with your goals. Staying aligned with your goals is one of the most crucial elements in achieving success, whether in personal or professional life. It requires a combination of discipline, clarity, and adaptability, ensuring that every action you take serves the purpose of moving closer to your intended destination. Life often presents countless distractions, obstacles, and opportunities that can easily derail you from your path. Yet, the individuals who remain steadfast in their pursuit of their goals are often the ones who attain long-term success and fulfillment. Staying aligned with your goals involves a consistent effort to keep your focus, adjust when necessary, and evaluate progress regularly. At the heart of staying aligned with your goals is clarity. You must have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve and why it matters. Goals that are vague or poorly defined can lead to confusion and a lack of direction. By defining specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals, you create a roadmap that not only provides direction, but also allows you to track your progress. Having a clear vision of where you want to go gives you a sense of purpose and motivation to push through challenges. Discipline is another critical component of goal alignment. Success does not happen overnight, and the road to reaching your goals is often filled with setbacks, delays, and temptations to stray from the path. Discipline helps you maintain consistency in your efforts, even when you feel tired, demotivated, or discouraged. Whether it's setting aside time every day to work on your goals or resisting the temptation to indulge in distractions, discipline keeps you on track. It is important to establish routines and habits that reinforce your objectives, such as dedicating time to personal development, planning, and executing tasks related to your goals. Over time, these habits become ingrained in your daily life, making it easier to stay aligned without constantly having to remind yourself of your aspirations. However, while discipline is essential, it is equally important to remain flexible and adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in an instant. You may encounter new opportunities that require you to pivot your approach or face challenges that force you to reassess your goals. Being rigid in your pursuit of a goal can lead to frustration or burnout, especially when things don't go as planned. On the other hand, those who stay aligned with their goals are willing to adjust their strategies and take a step back when needed, without losing sight of their ultimate objective. This might mean tweaking your goals to better suit your current situation or finding alternative routes to reach the same destination. The key is to be persistent in your commitment, but adaptable in your approach. Evaluating your progress regularly is an essential practice in staying aligned with your goals. It's easy to lose sight of your objectives if you don't take time to assess where you stand. Setting regular checkpoints allows you to identify areas of success and areas where you may need to refocus. These evaluations provide opportunities to adjust your approach or even reassess your goals entirely, ensuring that they remain relevant to your values and circumstances. Without periodic reviews, you may continue working toward an outdated or misaligned goal, only to find that it no longer holds meaning or that your efforts could be better spent elsewhere. One of the most powerful strategies to stay aligned with your goals is visualizing success. Visualization techniques can help strengthen your resolve and remind you of the reasons you started pursuing your goals in the first place. Whether it's picturing yourself achieving the goal or reflecting on the impact it will have on your life, these mental exercises reinforce your commitment and reignite your motivation. Creating vision boards or writing down affirmations that reflect your goals can also serve as tangible reminders of your aspirations. By immersing yourself in the imagery of success, you solidify your belief in your ability to achieve what you set out to do. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another important factor in staying aligned with your goals. The people you spend time with have a significant influence on your mindset and behavior. By surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share similar ambitions or values, you can create a support system that encourages and motivates you to stay on track. Positive relationships provide not only emotional support, but also practical advice, accountability, and inspiration. On the other hand, toxic relationships or people who do not support your ambitions can drain your energy and divert you from your path. Seek out mentors, peers, or groups who will push you to grow and stay focused on what matters most to you. Accountability plays a significant role in achieving your goals as well. When you share your goals with others or have someone to check in with, you increase the likelihood of staying on course. Accountability partners can provide external motivation and help keep you honest about your progress. The knowledge that someone else is aware of your goals can often be the nudge you need to continue working toward them, even when motivation wanes. Lastly, practicing self-compassion is a vital aspect of staying aligned with your goals. The journey toward success is rarely linear, and setbacks, mistakes, and failures are inevitable. It's important to acknowledge your mistakes without being overly critical or harsh on yourself. Learn from them and use them as stepping stones to improve and grow. Being kind to yourself throughout this process will help you maintain your mental and emotional resilience, which is essential for long-term success. In conclusion, staying aligned with your goals requires a balanced combination of clarity, discipline, adaptability, evaluation, visualization, and support. It's a continuous process of maintaining focus, adjusting strategies when necessary, and persisting through challenges. By following these practices, you create a path that not only leads you to your goals, but also ensures that the journey is fulfilling, purposeful, and meaningful. Number 5. Take action, even when it's inconvenient. Taking action even when it's inconvenient is one of the most essential qualities that separate those who achieve their goals from those who fall short. Life doesn't always unfold according to our preferences. We often encounter circumstances that push us outside our comfort zones or disrupt our routine. It's easy to find excuses when things get tough, but the real test of commitment is choosing to act in those very moments when it's least convenient. This decision to push through adversity shapes not only our future success, but also our character and resilience. At its core, the idea of taking action in inconvenient times is about discipline and focus. It requires an understanding that progress doesn't happen in a straight line, nor does it always fit into a neatly packaged timeline. Whether it's staying late to complete a project, making difficult phone calls when you're tired, or attending an event despite feeling overwhelmed by other responsibilities, the willingness to act when it's not easy is what transforms mere intentions into results. The temptation to procrastinate or wait for a perfect moment often leads to stagnation. But if you can learn to act, even when you'd rather not, you're building momentum. Momentum that will push you forward even when circumstances don't align with your plans. Inconvenient moments often arise when we're already juggling multiple responsibilities. Life doesn't stop, and sometimes we're faced with the pressure of balancing work, relationships, personal health, and self-development. But instead of allowing these pressures to create roadblocks, taking action in the face of inconvenience requires strategic prioritization. The key is understanding that there will never be a time when everything is perfectly aligned, and it's up to you to decide whether you'll take ownership of your actions despite external challenges. When you consistently take action, you're not just completing tasks. You're setting a precedent for yourself and others around you. People respect those who act decisively, especially when it's inconvenient. It sends a powerful message. Success isn't reserved for those with easy lives or perfect schedules, but for those who are willing to keep moving forward regardless of the circumstances. Moreover, pushing through inconvenience can lead to significant personal growth. Each time we choose to act despite our discomfort, we become better at managing obstacles and building resilience. It's in these challenging moments that we learn the most about our strengths and weaknesses. For example, you may find that you are more resourceful than you initially thought, or that you're able to navigate a complex situation with patience and grace. These moments of inconvenience act as opportunities to build the mental and emotional stamina that will serve you in the future. Over time, you'll begin to see inconvenience not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone toward greater achievement. The people who reach their full potential aren't necessarily those with the most talent, but rather those who cultivate the persistence to keep moving forward, no matter how tough things get. In a world that increasingly encourages instant gratification, the discipline of taking action when it's inconvenient can seem countercultural. We're often conditioned to seek comfort and avoid discomfort, whether it's through entertainment, food, or social media. But choosing to act even when it's hard creates a different kind of reward, a lasting sense of accomplishment and pride in knowing that you didn't let obstacles define you. This mental toughness can spill over into other areas of life, creating a ripple effect of improvement. Those who push through inconvenience not only become more successful in their endeavors, but also develop a stronger sense of self-belief. Every time you choose to act when it's inconvenient, you prove to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way, reinforcing your sense of agency and personal power. Additionally, taking action in difficult circumstances builds trust. Trust in your own abilities, trust in your commitments, and trust in the process. If you keep taking action despite challenges, you begin to see the results of your perseverance, even if they're not immediately apparent. There will be moments when progress seems slow and the discomfort feels unbearable. But staying the course shows your dedication to the journey and the bigger picture. It teaches you the value of delayed gratification, the kind of reward that comes not from immediate results but from sustained effort over time. The ability to act when it's inconvenient also strengthens your problem-solving skills. Often, the most inconvenient tasks are the ones that push you to think creatively, strategize, and come up with innovative solutions. You develop the habit of approaching challenges head-on rather than avoiding them, which ultimately leads to greater success and fulfillment. While taking action in inconvenient times isn't always easy, it's crucial for building the life and career you desire. Success doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It happens when you take action despite imperfect circumstances. Every time you push through discomfort, you not only get closer to your goals, but you also transform yourself into a person who is unstoppable, unshaken by challenges, and committed to growth. The next time you face an inconvenient situation, remember that the ability to take action during those moments could be the defining factor that sets you apart. So, choose to act. Your future self will thank you for it. In conclusion, the philosophy of Stoicism offers us invaluable insights on how to approach our time with intention and purpose. By embracing the Stoic principles of focusing on what we can control, setting priorities based on our values, and eliminating distractions, we can ensure that we're not just passing time but living with meaning. Remember, time is one of our most precious resources, and how we choose to spend it determines the quality of our lives. So, make every moment count. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing content. Until next time, take care and live wisely.